Hello and a very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching the brand new edition of India Fights Back with your host, Kriti Mishra. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh released the first batch of 2DG drug developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization, or the DRDO, for treatment of COVID-19 patients today. The drug comes in a powder form in a sachet and is taken orally by dissolving it in water. The drug has been developed by DRDO's Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences in collaboration with Dr. Reddy's lab. Clinical trial results have shown that this molecule helps in faster recovery of hospitalized patients. High proportion of patients treated with 2G showed RT-PCR negative conversion in COVID-19 patients. The drug will be of immense benefit to the people suffering from COVID-19 pandemic. And for more on this, I'm joined by very distinguished guests on the panel today. Joining me on the program, Mr. Selvamurthy, former Chief Controller R&D, Defense Research and Development Organization and President, Amity Science, Technology and Innovation Foundation, and Professor Bidu K. Mohanty, Director, KIMS Cancer Center, KIIT University, Bhubaneswar. Welcome to Rajya Sabha Television, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kriti, and it's a pleasure to join at this very important discussion.
Pleasure having you on the show, sir. And let me begin the show with you. Pursuing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's call for preparedness against the pandemic, DRDO took the initiative of developing this anti-COVID therapeutic application of 2G last year. Take us through the journey of this development of this drug, sir.
Thank you, Kriti. Let me first of all congratulate the Government of India and particularly Honorable Prime Minister, who promotes Atmanirbhar Bharat, and also the Defense Research and Development Organization, the Defense Minister himself today, who launched, Mr. Rajnath Singh ji, and launched this new product, 2-deoxy-D-glucose, which has been repurposed for the COVID application, a drug which was originally developed for as a radiosensitizer for the cancer patients, now has been repurposed for the COVID situation. And I must also congratulate the Chairman DRDO, Dr. Satish Reddy, and all the scientists in the life sciences, particularly in the Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences, which is one of the important life sciences labs of Defense Research and Development Organization, who has been involved in this journey for the last 20 years. For developing a drug in India or anywhere takes that long, and they have gone through the preclinical, clinical trials, then upscaling the product, manufacturing it to the GMP, and then marketing it with the approval of the DGCI. So it has been a long journey in DRDO. And DRDO is also, as you are aware, it contributes to national security, both in strategic sector as well as in the tactical sector, giving missiles, aircraft, radars, sonars, torpedoes, main battle tank, arms, ammunitions, life support, nuclear, biological, chemical, radiological, defense technologies. So numerous activities DRDO is doing, and the life sciences have done immense contribution during this COVID situation, giving ventilators. Now today, DRDO developed ventilators are being used by the patients. Oxygen concentrator, which was developed for pilots, fighter pilots, as an onboard oxygen generation system. So today we have oxygen concentrators in the COVID facilities. Personal protective ensembles, which we developed for other applications for the soldiers. Today we are finding application for the health workers in COVID. Sanitizers. And more than that, in the PM Care, now recently Prime Minister has approved a major program for OxyCare to have the indigenous oximeter, which will be available with oxygen, so that you can optimize the use of oxygen for the patients. So the OxyCare 1.5 lakh units have been ordered. So I thought, Kriti, I should give the whole span before I get into the 2DG, which is a great success story today, which the Honorable Prime Minister has made. And this 2DG was developed for cancer patients. So we requested Dr. Mohanty, who was involved in these clinical trials of this drug, even at the early stages, All India Institute of Medical Sciences. He was radiation oncologist of a global repute. He was associated. See, the problem is in the nuclear medicine, we look at if there is a nuclear holocaust or nuclear terrorism, people will be exposed and cancer will be there. How do you treat cancer? That's why INMAS is associated with cancer. In cancer, you have surgical removal, chemotherapy, radiotherapy. When you give radiotherapy, you are not only killing the cancer cell, but you are also killing the normal cell in the vicinity. So we were looking for something which can protect the normal cell while selectively sensitize the cancer cell and then weaken it so that at that radiation, you can selectively kill the cancer cell while sparing the normal cell in the vicinity. So this was the philosophy. And then we were looking for a drug which can switch off the energy system to the cancer cell. So we were looking at 2-deoxy-D-glucose, which is an analog of glucose, which can be taken up by the cell, but it cannot participate in the energy production mechanisms like glycolytic pathways or in the oxidative pathways to produce ATP, which is the energy for the cell to survive. So this cancer cell being hyperactive, it multiplies rapidly and it is hungry for energy. So when you give to the radiotherapy, during the radiotherapy, just before radiotherapy to cancer patient, in the blood you have normal glucose and you have 2-deoxy-D-glucose. Both are competing to enter the cell. Now cancer cell being hyperactive, it is hungry for energy. So it takes relatively more of 2-deoxy-D-glucose. So having taken it, it's not getting energy from there. So it's a weaker cell now. So you can optimize the radiation in such a way at that dose, it selectively kills the sensitized weaker cancer cell while sparing the normal cell in the vicinity. So that is the philosophy of the whole thing. Now, taking the analogy to COVID situation, in COVID, the cell which is the host, which is affected by the coronavirus, and this virus is going to sit in the host cell and then multiply very rapidly. So this cell is now hungry for energy. So when you give this COVID, the 2-deoxy-D-glucose, which is analog of glucose, it can enter the cell which is affected by COVID, but then it is not able to give energy. So the multiplication of the virus will be now limited because it's not, energy is not there for multiplication. So this has helped in a big way as a repurposing of the drug, which was originally developed for cancer, for application in the COVID situation. It can reduce the hospitalization period and it can also reduce the oxygen demand. So phenomenal application. So in this, there's INMAS is the original main lab, Institute of Nuclear Medicine and Allied Sciences. But the actual synthesis of 2DG was done in another DRDO lab, which is at Gwalior, Defense Research and Development Establishment. That is the one hospital grade 2DG was synthesized there. Then clinical trials were a lot of doctors like Dr. Mohanty, Dr. Dinesh Singh, and Dr. Doval. A number of people were involved at the original stage for the cancer. And now the Reddy's laboratory, we transferred the technology. They have scaled up for manufacturing, GMP, and then they are ready for the production and marketing. And the Drug Controller General of India has already cleared. And the other partner in this COVID repurposing of this 2DG, CCMB Hyderabad, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology at Hyderabad, was the CSIR lab who partnered with DRDO to repurpose the drug. And they did the preclinical. Then the Reddy's laboratory did the clinical phase 1, phase 2, even the dosaging, as well as finally phase 3. And today it's ready for application. Great.
Absolutely, sir. Since you were talking about clinical trials on cancer and Dr. Mohanty has been a part of it, Dr. Mohanty, I'd like to understand, how does this drug work? What is the application?
Thank you for having me here. And I must say that I'm definitely excited about this whole prospect of the repurposing of 2-deoxy-D-glucose for the purpose of COVID-19. As of now, as we all know, that the various therapeutic or supportive drugs which are available for COVID-19 are not too many on ourselves. That we should know. What is working, we should know, is as of now, only a few drugs are working. For the symptoms, what we are seeing are the paracetamol, antihistamines, and then comes the dexamethasone, then comes some antivirals like the remdesivir and Flaviflu. And now, when we have only these few drugs available with us, we are handicapped. As you know, for any kind of an infection, and COVID-19 has to be taken as an infectious disease, as you know. We have to treat it as an infectious disease and a transmissible disease and highly virulent disease. And every infectious disease, as you know, requires multiple drugs. For example, you know that the TB itself, which has been there for centuries, we need multiple drugs to actually treat the TB. No single drug actually is a winner. So there we should start with our baseline, what Dr. Selvamurthy said, that our baseline is that our armamentarium for the infectious disease of COVID-19 is not too much globally as of now. But then one good thing which has happened and which we must celebrate, the vaccine program and the vaccine platforms that come up. We must not look at only the drugs, we must also look at the vaccines. And as the vaccine program goes, we must also be very, very careful and cautious to know that the new variants will come up. When you are going to kill one variant of the COVID-19 virus, the SARS-CoV-2 virus, another variant will come up. We might call it UK variant, we might call it South Africa variant, we might call it Wuhan variant, we might call it India variant, like say UK now is very concerned about the India variant. Okay. So rightly, Dr. Selvamurthy said that we have repurposed the 2-deoxy-D-glucose. What exactly is this drug? This drug is to tell plainly, our cells are taking up glucose all the time. Our cells are producing oxygen all the time. Okay. And certain cells will be in the normal oxygen range, certain cells will be in the hypoxic oxygen range. The beauty of 2-deoxy, to extend from what Dr. Selvamurthy said is, and to correct him actually, it is more than 30 years, frankly, not 20 years. We started our lab works somewhere in 1985-86.
Right, correct.
So actually the lab works, I must say, and we must tell the name, started from NIMHANS, not from INMAS. In the radiobiology lab there in NIMHANS, Bangalore, where I was working there at Kidwai Memorial Institute of Oncology. From there we took over to the animal lab studies there. Dr. Binay Jain, Dr. Dwarkanath and Dr. Kalia. They were the three persons who associated me with the study. And we realized that it was trapping the high-grade glioma cells in the lab. So that was our beginning. That set us on the path of the clinical trial, that okay, high-grade gliomas are the big killers out of all tumors. And if we are giving the 2-deoxy-D-glucose by mouth, and it is causing definite amount of tumor cell reduction, and we are adding radiation to it, can we improve the survival of those high-grade glioma brain tumor patients? That was our beginning of the journey, Madam and Dr.
Right.
Selvamurthy. And we made a very small beginning.
Yes.
Yeah. But then it was celebrated in the sense that one of the premier journals in our radiation oncology, the Red Journal, took up that article, published it in 1996. So our journey was from a very, very small trial for human tumors of a very, very aggressive type of brain tumor.
Right, sir. So that was the journey of this drug. But talking about the COVID-19 pandemic and the current situation, Mr. Selvamurthy, do you think that now we can safely say that this drug will reduce the hospital stay of the COVID-19 patients?
Yes. Mr. Anant Bhatt at INMAS has now done the repurposing of the drug for application in the COVID situation. And what they have done along with the DRL, that is Dr. Reddy's laboratory, first we have done the in vitro studies in COVID situation. How does the virus react with this? So the in vitro studies were done at CCMB Hyderabad, Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology at Hyderabad. And after their positive results, then the Drug Controller General cleared it for phase 1 clinical trial. Phase 1 is limited number of patients mainly for safety of the drug. And this is an analog of glucose, so it went through easily. So phase 1. Then phase 2, there are 2 steps, phase 2A, phase 2B, in which the first one is the larger multicentric trials. And then also the dosing, what is the dose response relationship to see what is the dosing which is required, what is the dosage to be given to the patient. So for dose optimization, the phase 2A. Then the phase 3 clinical trial, that was done on a larger number, 220 patients in more than 10 hospitals. So that was a very large trials which was carried out. And now the drug has been cleared for emergency use by the Drug Controller General of India. Now this will be used by many hospitals so that the sample size will go up. So a larger number will be carried out in multiple hospitals. I want to make it clear, this is an adjunct therapy to the conventional medical management of COVID. This is the other conventional medical management. Then in addition to that, you have an arm where 2DG was also given to the corona patients, the COVID-19 patients. So where we have found the median of the hospitalization period is reduced by about 2.5 to 3 days, which is very significant. You can reduce the number of hospitalization period. That means the prognosis is better. Then we have also seen the oxygen demand in these patients is also less. So it can do 2 things. Improve the prognosis, thereby reducing the hospitalization duration. And secondly, it will also reduce the oxygen demand, which is now everybody is gasping for oxygen. So these 2 are tremendously significant. And even now, WHO is also contemplating that how do we use this at a global level. So I'm told by INMAS scientists that there are talks in WHO to consider this as well. So I see that there is tremendous possibility. The first thing is at national level, all hospitals now should be using it as an adjunct to have a larger number of the experience in terms of experimenting and then validating this claim in a larger sample. And then after that, we should now go global, because this is a product which we should also help the whole humanity at large. So we should look at whether WHO or other countries, how do we also carry out similar trials? Because 2-deoxy trials were not only done in India, but large number of international studies were done. As you mentioned, Dr. Vinay Jain moved from INMAS, NIMHANS to INMAS as director. We brought him to DRDO, INMAS, and Dr. Vinay Jain and Dr. Dwarakanath also came there. He became associate director. So both of them moved and then they carried out the studies over here. So when they joined INMAS, then only the whole momentum was given, both the clinical as well as the preclinical and clinical. Then we did the synthesis of the hospital grade at Gwalior lab, then DRL technology transfer was done. So a lot of journey has been there, and I'm sure the launch today by the Honorable Defense Minister, Shri Rajnath Singh, will give a new boost for this application in all hospitals. And I'm sure the doctors can now make use of this another armor available, as Dr. Mohanty mentioned, that you have another armor in doctor's kitty to treat the COVID patients.
Absolutely, sir. So this is going to be another defense system that we'll have. But Dr. Mohanty, you were talking about variations and mutations. What about the efficacy trends or the results that this drug has shown on different variants of the virus?
As of now, ma'am, from the phase 1 and phase 2 trials, unless you have actually analyzed the virus from the RT-PCR, you will not be able to name which are the variants for which it is working. What we should look forward to is it is largely working for the COVID-19 virus, SARS-CoV-2. And as rightly pointed out, since it is coming in the second wave, and we are seeing that the second wave is causing a large amount of patients quickly going into a respiratory depression. And this drug working on the hypoxic cells can also improve the oxygen utilization intracellular and reduce the extracellular oxygen requirement. This itself will be a very, very big step forward. Next thing that we should see is whether out of that mechanism of the drug that we are seeing, the hypoxic cells working better with the 2-deoxy-D-glucose trapping in the cells of the lungs or other parts of the body, we can then only go forward to say whether, ma'am, the other variants or different variants it is working on. Our efforts should now be, as you know, that I say that every science has its serendipity. The science does not come very, very quickly. The only thing that we all as human beings and humanity have to appreciate is science takes its baby steps to get big achievements. And I would say that you should, and we all should celebrate this day, that repurposing this drug itself in the lab and trying to make the world realize, like what Dr. Selvamoorthy said, that WHO is also thinking. That means the WHO itself is hungry for new drugs.
Yes.
So we all should celebrate that. Let us hope that our own suffering COVID patients will do better with this drug, and then only we can find out which are the variants on which it is working.
Absolutely, sir. It's a welcome move. It's a great development. But Mr. Selvamoorthy, talking about the pricing of this drug. Now, being a generic molecule and analog of glucose, it will be easily available and produced throughout the country in plenty. So pricing should not be an issue?
Yes. This drug is very cheap because, as you rightly said, it is just the analog of glucose. Like you make the glucose, you can make this 2DG also. So that synthetic chemistry scientist at DRDO Gwalior, which is the lab of DRDO, has already done that and then scaled up through the DRL, that is Dr. Reddy's laboratory. It is available in sachet. You just have a sachet in the powder form, like you make tea using the sachet. So you just put that, open it, put it in the water, a glass of water, just stir it and then drink it. So very simple to use as well. So the price wise, it will be in hundreds, not in thousands, not in, so it'll be very cheap. And also when you have volumes, then the cost will come down as well once you manufacture in a larger quantity. Because this has to be hospital grade, because you are giving it to a human being. So it cannot be just the normal, and you are giving it to the patients. So it has to be sterile as well. So it should not be carrying organisms. So all that process will be done by the GMP in the laboratory of the DRL, that is Dr. Reddy's laboratory, and the manufacturing facility. Then they will give. So the cost wise, this will be very cheap. And I cannot give the exact cost because that is the company's prerogative, but it will be in hundreds.
Can yes. I just add?
Go ahead. You want to add?
add a little point here that when we finished our human trials in the late 1990s, we were using the human grade powder of the 2-deoxy-glucose prepared from our own labs. Okay. And we realized that we can give it by mixing it with water. And then when we wanted this to be of the biopharmaceutical grade, as you know, and I must say it right now, that probably there were not too many takers because it was going to be a cheap drug. So that's why probably it was lying dormant for nearly about last 15 years or so. There are no takers because people want remdesivir, people want Flaviflu, people want costly drugs. And probably the biopharmaceutical companies were not interested about our work, I must say. And I must say that I'm just coming out of the hive now. Somebody is seeing me now.
I'm sure the situation has changed right now. And this, as you said, is a big development, and all of us have to welcome it and all of us have to celebrate it. And of course, let's hope for the efficacy of this drug. And it is expected to save precious lives due to the mechanism of operation of the drug in the infected cells. On that note, thank you so much for joining us on the show, Dr. Mohanty and Mr. Selvamurthy as well.
Thank you. Thank you
so
much.
Well, that's all we have for you in this edition of India Fights Back. But before that, let me remind you once again to stay safe from the coronavirus pandemic. Remember to wear a face mask and wash your hands and face regularly, and ensure that you maintain physical distancing whenever you're stepping outside. These simple precautions are all it takes to defeat this pandemic. Take very good care and goodbye.